What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the My Player Career Mode. Today, guys, we've got some interesting-ish games to play for you. You'll see what I'm talking about in just a moment's time here. But we do actually have the first leg of the Champions League knockout round up against Lyon. And also, we have a game coming up against FC Barcelona in the second El Clasico of this season. On top of that, we've got two other games alongside it. The first of which is up against Real Betis here in the league. And the next one after that is against Villarreal in the semi-finals, I do believe, of the Copa de España. So we've got a game, I guess, to look forward to in each segment of today's episode, if you will. So I'm looking forward to it. The reason why I had to play 4 is because, unfortunately, nothing really too much happened from the first 3 games. And so I felt as though only playing 3 with the games that we had, I felt as though I had to give you guys another video, another game on top of that. So I mean, it's still kind of, there is chances in each of the games. It's just, it's not a very, very high chance game, which is to be unexpected. You know, the El Clasico, very tough affair up against Barcelona. We've also got the first leg of this Champions League game up against Lyon, so they're not going to want to lose too much in that one there. So they're probably not going to be attacking from the offset. And then this one here up against Real Betis is very similar in that sense. They're going to get men behind the ball. So we're looking forward to see what we can do in this episode. If you remember back to the last one, guys, we were just told, of course, we picked up a red card in the one before it. We were told by the board and the manager that that simply was unacceptable. And at the last bit of yesterday's episode, our manager attacked us in the media, saying that our performances in recent weeks was not good enough. And I said that to you guys as well. I completely understand where he's coming from. We need to improve. But it's always nice to have faith from the manager. And I don't feel like I had it there. You know, to come out in the media and attack me is certainly a much bigger thing than what I would have liked him to do. If he'd have just, pulled me to one side, said that not good enough, even better. If he'd have sent me a message in my message box saying the performances haven't been up to scratch, that would have been better. But to actually go to the media and say that the performances aren't good enough, that's a big, big step. So I feel as though I've got a point to prove in today's episode. I've got to make my my voice heard, and my performances have got to be on point. And there's no better way to start this game up against Real Betis here to kick the episode off with. A very strong side for this one as well, so I feel quite confident we're about to get ourselves a goal in this one. And actually, guys, the first chance did fall our way. Our way, 17 minutes into it. We stole the ball back in our half. I ran down the line, ran the channels. I tried to do this as much as I possibly can, but sometimes it's just pointless because nobody then gets into the middle. I beat 2 challenges on the way to taking a strike on. It's a good save, and then Anthony Martial gets on the rebound here as he makes it 1-0. But you're going to see, it actually was going wide from the Frenchman, and without the defender getting involved, we would not have taken the lead in this game. So it does, in fact, go down as an own goal to the defender. Who knows? Maybe it had corrected that, other side of the goal there where it did. But I'm pretty sure that if it's an own goal like that and it does touch the defender, Martial would have been credited with it had it have been on target. So in that case, it must mean that it was going off target, and we, without the defender's help, would not have taken the lead here. But we did take the lead, and it was very, very early on into the game as well, 20 minutes. So it allowed me to have a little bit of pressure off my shoulders at this stage. I like it when this happens because the AI have then got a decision to make whether or not they come forward or sit back. And then if they do come forward, it gives me a lot of space in behind. But it was actually Betis who controlled most of the play after that, actually. I mean, they had a really good opportunity there, and it was into the 70th minute before we ourselves got our chance here. And it was with my right foot. And the less said about it, the better, pretty much. That just sums up exactly how we've been playing at the moment, and that simply is not good enough. That finish there was atrocious. Didn't get anything on it. Nowhere near as good enough as I was hoping for. So in the end, it's very, very poor from myself, and I only have myself to blame for that one. It was a good opportunity. I should have taken my time with it. I should have come back onto the left foot and tried to curl it. Didn't do. That's where decision-making has not been good enough for me in recent weeks, and that's kind of, I guess, the pressure from the manager, the pressure from the media, kind of all getting to me in that sense. But regardless, we took a 1-0 win from that one. I can't complain too much. 3 points on the board. I always say to you guys that 3 points and the win is the most important bit, not our personal performance. So if we can keep winning like we are, it doesn't matter how much of a blip in form I'm currently on, provided we are winning our game. So we went into the second game, though, guys, of today's episode, up against Lyon, as I said, taking them on in the first leg of the knockout rounds of the Champions League. So I'm feeling quietly confident for this one as well. I feel as though our team is very much, the more dominant side on paper. They've got a good team, but they haven't got a Real Madrid team. This likes of Real Madrid squad that have, strength in depth, just an abundance of quality players all across the board. So I feel as though going into the Champions League, this is probably the most strongest team we've had. I've mentioned this before. I feel as though this is the most, strongest lineup that we're going to have in this entire series to try and go on and win this Champions League. But we've got to overturn a very, very tough Lyon side. Some of the legs had already been played out as well on the left-hand side of that kind of table there if you wanted to check any of them out. I will, of course, show you how the double leg are panned out and who we actually have next once the double legs are, in fact, done. If we get through, that is, of course. If Lyon get through, I'll still show you anyway, because I still want to show you it regardless of whatever happens, because I want to see how some of the other teams get on in there. You know, likes of Barcelona, the likes of some of the other big boys in the world football. Bayern Munich, for example, our former team. And I don't think City will be in there, actually, because we got top 4 with them. But I'm not sure if they got out of the group. So I'm pretty sure they didn't, actually. So in which case, they're not in there. But some of my other clubs there possibly will be, you know, likes of Bayern Munich. I think that's the only main team that will be in there. I don't think Valencia will be in there, but they could be, and they could have surprised me. But regardless, guys, it could be potentially us going through here up against Lyon. But they did, in fact, get themselves the first chance in this one. A free kick. Lacazette stood over this one. Very dangerous. We all know about him. And it's a phenomenal save in the end from Courtois as he denies him the opening goal of this game. And 48 minutes into it, second half coming up now. I managed to get myself a little chance here. Cut it back with the fake shot. Back inside with the right foot. The strike comes in. Takes a mega deflection on the way through. We get ourselves our 30th goal with our weak foot here, which is sensational. I honestly didn't think we scored 30 goals with our right foot. I mean, you might say it's kind of bad after having 85 episodes, or 83 episodes we're into now, sorry, not 85. But still, you know, right foot, I'm not that great with it in real life, not that great with it in the series, and there is our 30th goal, sorry, with our right foot. But you can see, the deflection takes it underneath the goalkeeper's legs, and that is the reason why we lead this game. That, I guess, again, summed up how my luck is being currently. I guess that's the nice bit of luck from this one, but it wasn't clean from me at all. So that comes down, once again, to my personal performance. And without that, you know, it wouldn't have gone in. So I definitely need to improve. And I'm so glad in that respect that it did end up going in, because I kind of needed that goal for my kind of confidence. So I'm glad we got the win. I'm glad we got ourselves a goal as well. But the most important bit about that was the away goal that we did in fact get. I speak about this so much on this series, over the series and on the channel in general. Away goals in the Champions League, guys, are vital to succeeding in the next leg, in my opinion. So it's vital we got one there. We did do it, and so that was that. I then decided that we needed a change for boots. I didn't feel as though the boots were treating me well enough here, so I'm kind of well, I wouldn't say that it was all down to the boots. Of course, it's my performance, and the boots, you know, it's only the things. And like I always, old saying goes, poor workmen always blames their tools. That's exactly what I was doing there. So I decided change of boots was needed. Superstitious me decided we were going to change our boots and see if that had any impact on how we were playing. Also get myself a little haircut. It wasn't too much different from the other one we had, though, so I decided to just go ahead and change it a little bit. But as you can see, El Clasico was the next game up here. So I was feeling as though, with the new boots on, we have our chance to shine. We've just got ourselves a goal in the Champions League as well to add to this. So it means that now, moving into this, if you remember back as well, we'd already played one El Clasico this series so far, and we actually won it 2-0. I scored both goals in a 2-0 win at the new camp, or as it's not called in the new camp in this game because they don't have rights to it. But this is very much going to be one of the more tougher battles we're going to have. You know, they're sat second, we're sat top. It's very much the normal in La Liga football, but I'm very, very interested to see exactly how we get on at the Santiago Bernabeu. As I mentioned, a 2-0 win at their ground, fantastic. I scored both goals. That was when I first came to Real Madrid. I was in good form then. Now, I've hit a blip. I've hit this kind of form where I'm not on point every game. You know, the managers kind of attacked me, as I mentioned, so this El Clasico was much different, and my kind of confidence going into this was so much different than what it was from where we played at their ground. So, although I was looking forward to it, I also wasn't looking forward to it in that sense, because I wanted to try and make sure that I was going to play well, and I wasn't expecting to do that at this stage. But we'll see what happens regardless, guys. They've got a very strong squad. We have a very strong squad. I'm hoping the supply lines are going to be on point today. But actually, players to watch was Martial and not ourselves, and of course for them it was Neymar. And there was one and only chance in this game, falling by Barcelona's way, 76 minutes in. A strike coming in, straight at Courtois. That was it, guys. Nothing else happened, and that's what I kind of meant to you guys. So, like I said, I felt as though ending the episode here on 3 games just wouldn't be good of me to do. And, you know, the thing is, guys, you've got to look at that game and say how boring it was. And I show you the match facts just to show you, actually, there was only one chance. There you go. We had 0 shots, 0 on target, 39% possession. Barcelona had 61% with 1 shot, 1 on target. What do you do in that situation? You know, that pretty much summed up a very poor episode. So I decided for the last game to bump it down to professional difficulty to make the game a little bit more interesting, because I felt as though the game so far had been shocking. Although we got 2-0, 1-0 wins, they weren't really entertaining games, and that one just summed up how poor the episode had been. So I actually do bump this down to professional difficulty from Legendary, like I said, and we tried it out on this one just to make the episode a bit more interesting. On aggregate, guys, we were winning this 1-0 up against Villarreal, so potentially looking at our first, our first Copa de España final in Real Madrid colours, Don't forget, guys, we did, in fact, I do believe, we definitely played in the final at Valencia. Whether or not we won it, I can't remember my mind back to it. But I know for sure this will be our first one here at Real Madrid. And so to get there is one thing, but potentially we could be playing against Barcelona in that. So it could be an El Clasico final, which would be a really cool thing to have. But given my current form, I'm not that confident going into it. So we'll see what happens anyways up against Villarreal here, because there's still potential for them to knock us out. We are still only 1-0 up on aggregate so far. This is the second leg, of course. That is the team that we, in fact, had for today's game. Phenomenal side, and if we didn't get the job done with this team, in my opinion, we didn't deserve to be playing in that final. So, although, you know, it's going to be interesting, I still believe we had the quality to do the job on hand here. So, 22 minutes into the game, actually, and we got ourselves the first chance. I went down the right-hand side here. As you can see, not really too much in the box to aim for, but eventually I do manage to just take it right to the byline and wait for a run to come in, and it did come in the form of, I think it was James, in the middle of the area there as he got onto the end of my cutback and made it Real Madrid 1, Villarreal 0. So 25 minutes on the clock. No goal for me, but certainly it was an assist, which is really good to see as well. So I was pretty happy with that one, because as I said, there wasn't really too much going on in the penalty area up until that point, and once again, the keeper maybe should be doing better with that one. So he does get quite a good touch to it, and in the end, it just hits himself on the boot and then goes into the top corner. So, well, not top corner, I guess, roof of the net instead. So that gave us a lead here, but 2-0 aggregate, you know, at this stage, we were on top. And 73 minutes into it, took a very long time for anything else to happen. A flick on at the near post from myself as we get ourselves a second assist for this game here, as Brandt makes the header count and makes it 2-0 in the 75th minute. So far, no goals for us, but 2 assists, and this one was a really nice assist as well. I spoke briefly about it before. You know, we had one of these a while back where I flicked it across the face of goal, but it was actually a shot, and that was the reason why we didn't get the assist. On this occasion, it was an A pass, so the assist did count for this one. So I was pretty happy with that one, because I didn't want to get robbed another assist there, if you will. So we'll see. Anyways, guys, it looks as if we are going through to that Copa de España final to play against Barcelona, which would be really cool to have in this series. But we weren't done there, because 83 minutes on the clock. Martial, I played the ball through to him. He cuts it back here. I get the ball back on this left-hand side. Nice bit of trickery, if you will, to go back down the left here, as I do a couple of defenders. Get very lucky that that defender makes a mistake there to give me the ball back. Tried to square it across the face of goal yet again. This time, it hit the keeper. Excuse me. Bounced straight back out, and then it came straight to James Rodriguez, who makes it 3-0. So, 86 minutes on the clock. We were in a good position. You know, 3-0 up, 5 minutes to go. Safe to say, 4-0 on aggregate. There was no chance we were going to lose it from this stage. So it meant that we would be taking on Barcelona in the Copa de España, our first Copa de España as well, may I add, to kick this. Well, it's going to be interesting. I don't know what to expect from it. El Clasico in that. I just hope it's not a ball fest like that last game was. I hope there's not just going to be one chance in the entire game, because that'll frustrate me. So I'm hoping it'll be entertaining for you guys. I'm hoping it's going to be entertaining to play as well. But enough of that, guys, because there was a chance for one more in this game here. As we went into the 90th minute, nice step over in the area, fired the strike with the right foot, my weaker foot yet again. So although we've had 2 goals in this episode, neither of them have been with our stronger foot here. The keeper again gets a hand to this one, just can't keep it out. But that kind of, I guess, gave me a little bit more confidence, because you saw the step over in the area. I need a goal. I need to kind of up myself. So to do that in the area takes a bit of confidence. And in the strike as well with the right foot, instead of kind of squaring it back onto my stronger left side, I decided I was going to hit it with the right foot, and it kind of caught the keeper off guard, if you will. Tried to save it one-handed, got his fingertips to it, but could not keep the shot out. So we took the lead here for the 4th time, or rather, we already had the lead. But we got ourselves a 4th goal anyway to make it 4-0 and 5-0 on aggregate. And the best bit about it was, we was on the score sheet. So it was nice to end the episode off with a goal as well. But that was what I mean, guys, you know. Professional difficulty, we just run ragged, and then legendary is kind of okay up until the certain stage when it starts to get boring, because there's no chances in the game at all. Legendary is really hit or miss at the moment, I'm finding, whereas professional is always consistent. But the problem with professional is it's too consistent on our favour. So, you know, maybe I'll trial world class for a little bit and see what that happens there. But regardless, guys, that's going to end off today's episode. If you've enjoyed it, I'd appreciate a like rating. There was confirmation of the Barcelona result, so we will be taking them on in that final of the Copa de España. So I can't wait for it, guys. Let's see what happens. Other than that, I'll see you all later with another video very soon. Yeah, I don't know what I said. Anyways, adios.